Hey girl, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is a very exciting one. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to apply tape-in hair extensions to yourself, to your own hair. I'll give you everything you need to know step by step. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start off, I'll show you the hair that I'm going to be using today, which is this gorgeous hair from a brand called Wiel. I'll show you the packaging. Wiel means yes, she in French. So this is actually the same brand that I used in my previous hair extension tutorial video. They were called West Label before. They've rebranded. They are Wiel, and they were kind enough to give me these hair extensions for today's video. It's all Slavic origin. The hair is all cuticle aligned, and the donors are ethically sourced. So all the women are paid fairly for their hair. And then the hair is processed in an award-winning factory. It's all just like top of the line hair, honestly. Everything you would want from hair extensions, they have it. And all their hair is double drawn, so it's thick all the way from the root to the ends, as you can see. And again, the best part is that it's cuticle aligned Remy hair, which means it won't end up being a tangled mess. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but like cheaper hair extension brands always just end up getting tangly, like especially around here, around your nape area. Because they're not cuticle aligned, the hairs start to like rub against each other and get matted. That won't happen with this hair. You can use this hair for, if you take care of it, it'll last you for like up to a year. So you can use this hair over and over again and it won't get tangly. So even if you go swimming in the ocean or in a pool, you won't like come out with like a tangly mess. So as long as you take care of the hair, it'll take care of you too. And the hair that I got today, I got 2 different colors and I have 3 packs of hair. So each pack is 50 grams. So in total, I have 150 grams of hair here. And I actually just filmed a tape-in hair extension shopping guide. So if you want a full breakdown on like how many packs you should get, like how to actually buy tape-in hair extensions for yourself, check out that video because I go more in depth on that. But in this video, I'll just go into the application. So I have 2 colors here. I'll list the 2 colors down below. But I got one darker one that kind of matches my base color. And it has like some highlights in it, which honestly just like matches my hair so perfectly. And then I got 2 packs of this lighter color, which matches more so the ends of my hair. So actually I'll show you over here. If I place my hair on top, you can see how the lighter ends just seamlessly blend into it. So this mixed with the darker shade, I think will give me the best blend. All right, so let's talk prep. So to prep your hair for your tape-in hair extension application, you want to make sure that your hair is freshly washed and dried and you wash your hair with a clarifying shampoo. You don't really want to use conditioner or any other, or like a leave-in conditioner or any other products that might interfere with the adhesive. So you mainly want to just use a clarifying shampoo and then that is it. And then I also flat ironed my hair. I recommend flat ironing your hair just so the texture matches your hair extensions and it'll just kind of make the application process easier. So I have my hair laid out and ready to go. I'll just go over a few placement tips and kind of like my strategy before we get into it. So I do have like a darker color and a lighter color. So obviously I want to use this darker color because it blends into my roots. I want to use this like towards the top of my hair so that if like, you know, my hair kind of moves, it doesn't really show because this part is rooted versus this piece of extension is not rooted. So if you see that, it would be more obvious, like the contrast. So I want to make sure that I have this darker one towards the top of my hair. And then I also have some of my base color showing underneath. So I will be saving some of this darker color to blend in around here. So I'm basically using this on the kind of perimeter, I guess you could say, of my hair, and then blending in these lighter pieces in the middle because these ones do blend into the bottom of my hair pretty nicely. And these are like a little bit lighter, which is nice because I do kind of want to brighten up my color as well. That's another great thing about tape-ins is you can like kind of alter your hair color just a little bit using extensions. So you can get a color that is like slightly lighter, slightly darker, and weave that into your hair color as well to help give you highlights that you might not have or to create like an ombre effect. So you can really play with the colors of your hair extensions as long as you do have a base color that matches you perfectly. You can really weave in some other colors as you see fit. And when you are making the sandwiches, You don't have to stick to the same color. You can actually mix the colors as well. So I have one of the darker pieces here and one of the lighter pieces, and I can create a sandwich using one of each piece. So again, towards the top of my hair, I might do something like that where the darker piece is on top. But if you were to if you wanted to create some more highlights or something like that, you can alternate it so that the lighter piece is on top, and see how that kind of gives me, if that was like blended into my hair, it would give me more of a highlighted look and add that lightness to my hair. But you can really play around with the color placement depending on the desired effect that you're going for. And another great hack to know is you can actually cut these in half, so you can slice it down the middle here and create a sort of smaller little sandwich. And this is great if you want to squeeze in some extra pieces like in the face framing area where your hairline might be a bit thinner and you just want to squeeze in one last little piece. You can cut them in half and create a little small sandwich. You can also add this into your sections if you just need to fill in a little gap or something like that. This is very helpful. All right, so let's get started with application. So first things first, I'm going to section out my hair. So I'm going to section out the front of my hair from the back of my hair. So I'm going to start with my part. I usually wear a side part like this. So that is done. So just make sure you part your hair the way you're going to wear your hair afterwards. And then I'm just going to section off the back of my hair. So right basically behind my ear. So all this is going to be the back of my hair. So I'm going to have that over here. And then I'm going to clip out the front of my hair. So I'm going to start with this front section here. So what I'm going to do is just part a diagonal section. And parting it on a diagonal helps if you want to put your hair up when you have hair extensions. Because imagine this, your hair extension is going to be sitting kind of like that. And then when you go to put your hair up in a ponytail, it'll flip back like this and then lay flat against your head. Versus if you have your hair extension sitting horizontally like this and you go to pull your hair up into a ponytail and you pull it back, you might get some corners kind of sticking out and peeking through. So we're going to go ahead and apply it like this. So I'm going to take one of the darker ones and put that on top, and then I'm going to sandwich it with a lighter color underneath. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little comb like this and section out some hair that I'm going to apply the tape to. And now usually I'll show you two different ways that I apply the tape and hair extension. So one way is you apply the bottom half of the sandwich first and then apply the top half. But I actually prefer to apply the top half first and then the bottom half. But I'll show you that in the next application. But we'll start with the regular method, I guess you could say. This is how I learned to do it when I was training how to do hair extensions, is you actually put the bottom one first and then you sandwich it with the top one. I feel like that's how a lot of us learned how to do it. And then until I learned that you can actually apply the top one first, and it kind of changed everything for me. So you want to have the sticky side up, apply it underneath the hair, and then lay the hair right on top. So when you're applying the tape and hair extension, you do want to make sure that you have some of your own hair left out here along the framing, because you do want to cover the hair extension. You don't want it to show, especially if you put your hair up in a ponytail, you want your hair to cover that up. Not gonna lie, I feel like this is sitting way too close to my face, so I'm actually gonna take this out and I'm gonna use that hack that I told you about where we cut the hair extension in half, and I'm gonna put a half piece. So before you apply the sandwich, you can still take this out. You just have to be very careful, but you can peel this off just like that. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and cut this in half and I'll apply a smaller piece right there. Okay, there we go. So I applied the smaller piece. I feel like that looks way better because now I have all of my natural hair here to help with the blend. And so to finish off that sandwich, I'm going to take the other half, which is the darker top half that I'm going to use, and cut this in half as well. So I'm getting the other half. I'm just going to lay it right on top. And then press the two pieces together. And you don't have to use a flat iron. I know a lot of people like to use that. I've heard that that can actually kind of deteriorate the adhesive. So I don't use a flat iron. I just push it into place. And there you go. Voila. I mean, that looks pretty seamless. And then once I have my hair down, you won't even see that. So yeah, I'm glad I had that half piece in there. I think that's going to work really well. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next section. So I'm going to part another section just on top of that one, still kind of sticking in that diagonal shape. But I'll show you guys what I meant by sticking the top piece of the sandwich on first. I feel like this is way easier. So what you're gonna do is just stick on the top piece of your sandwich, just like that. And when you're applying your hair extension, you don't want to have it like right at your skin, like at your scalp. You do want to have like a little bit of hair and then apply the hair extension. You'll know you did it right if you can take the hair extension and go like this. You won't really be able to do that if it's like right at the skin. Like it's not gonna like lift up and it's gonna kind of hurt. So if you do that, just like take it off and do it again. All right, so now we're gonna apply the bottom piece of the sandwich. So what you're gonna do is grab this extension that you just applied, lift it up, and now you'll see that it has picked up some hair. And this is the beauty of this, like doing it this way, because it picks up the perfect amount of hair that you need. So it picked up just the right amount of hair that I need for my sandwich. So I'm going to pin this back and then get the bottom half. And just make sure you don't have any like random stragglers. So just kind of like check that you have just the right amount of hair that you need for your sandwich. Take the bottom half and then line it up and press it into place. There you go. So now you have another sandwich applied, and that's what that looks like. So I'm just gonna put my hair down and see how that's looking, and I feel like that is already looking really good. I do want to kind of fill in this gap here. So to fill that in, I'm just gonna take a section a little higher up on my head, and this is gonna be a horizontal section. I think I'm gonna just put in one piece kind of up here, which will help to just like blend in that one area. So again, I'm gonna start with the darker color as the top part of my hair extension, just because it'll blend in with my root up here. So what I'm gonna do is apply this right here. And then I'm gonna lift this piece up and see how it's picking up just the right amount of hair that we need. So I'm gonna gather that together. And then I'm gonna take the lighter color and apply it for the bottom part of the sandwich. And press that into place. Okay, so now I put my hair down and I'm gonna brush it in place just to see how everything is looking, and I think that looks so good. I feel like this blend is perfect. Like you can't tell me. Oh my gosh, you guys, hold on. I think this looks freaking amazing. This matches so perfect, and it really just fills in that gap just so perfectly. I am loving how this is looking so far. So I'm going to leave this front section. I feel like this is all I need right now, and I can always come back to it if I feel like I need to add more. So we're basically going to repeat the same steps on this side. So I'm going to section out a diagonal part. And remember how I cut that hair extension in half? I'm going to come back to that. So I'm going to use the other half for this side here. So I'm going to place this right about here and clip this up and then stick the bottom half of the sandwich on top. Perfect. That blends in perfectly. So now I'm just going to add another section right on top. So again, for this one, I'm going to use the darker color on top and then get the lighter half of the sandwich and then apply that. Okay, so I just put down the front section of my hair and I'm very happy with how everything is looking so far. I might come back to it and fill in some more pieces as I see fit, as I feel like I need it, but right now I'm very happy with this, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the back section of my hair and I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, so I have my front section clipped up out of the way and I'm gonna start with the back section, but I'll show you how I see the back of my hair. This is how I do it, you guys. I have my camera monitor set up so I can see what I'm filming, which is the back of my hair. But if you were doing this at home and obviously you don't have this set up, what you can do is just get two mirrors and you just want to set up a mirror in front of you so you can see the mirror behind you, the reflection. You know what I'm trying to say. But that's how I used to do it. I would like set up a full length mirror and have a mirror behind me. You just want to make sure you can see the back of your hair. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm just making my first section. And when you're doing the back of your hair, you can just work in straight across horizontal sections, similar to how you would if you were putting in clip-in hair extensions. You can think of it very much like the same way. So just a few straight across rows up the back is all you need. So this is my first section, and you want to just make sure that you always have enough hair to cover your hair extensions if you want to wear your hair up. I recommend at least 2 fingers for the bottom section, and then you always want to have a little bit of hair on the perimeter as well. So what I mean by that is never take your hair extension right to the edge. You always want to have a little bit of your hair on the end just to help with the overall blend. Okay, so for this particular row, I'm actually going to put the lighter hair extension as the top half of the sandwich because I want the darker one on the bottom to help with the blend. So I'm going to go ahead and start directly in the middle. So you just want to apply the hair extension. Again, not right to the scalp. You want a little bit of hair in between. And then when you're applying the hair extension, you don't want them to be touching and rubbing up next to each other. So you don't want them to be like right beside each other. You do want to have like a little bit of a gap. So just leave a little bit of a gap and then apply the next hair extension and see how I still have some of my hair on the side. That is perfect. And once all the top parts are put on, you can flip these up and then apply the bottom half of the sandwich. And then you basically just want to repeat the process. So I just sectioned off my next row on top of that one. And you want to make sure that you have enough hair so that there's hair in between the sandwiches. You never want the extensions to be like right on top of each other. You do want some hair in between, and that will help with the blend. And then what you can also do is called the bricklaying method. So see how there are some gaps forming because these two are right on top of each other. So what you can do to mitigate that is where the two tapes create a gap, on your next row, put a tape there to fill in the gap that it has created. And also another tip, if you wear glasses, you don't want to put them right behind your ear because then your glasses will get caught on the tapes. So just one thing to keep in mind. I'm getting closer to the top of my head, and you can see that we are still staying with that horizontal line in the back, but now it's starting to curve up on the sides and meet with that diagonal front piece that we did earlier on. So this is how we're going to blend the back section with the front section. So see how there is a gap there that needs to be filled. So I'm going to put an extension right there and then keep on going with that brick layering method and filling in the gaps as I go. And now that I'm getting closer to the top of the head, I'm going to start to add in some of the darker color as the top part of the sandwich. And here is the final look. Isn't this so good? I feel like the colors match perfectly. The blend is seamless. You can't even tell where my natural hair ends. Like, I think it is perfect. This is what it looks like. And so I just trimmed the ends a little bit so it would be a little bit more even. So once you have your hair extensions applied, you want to let them sit for 24 to 48 hours. So don't wash your hair or anything like that. Let the adhesive set in place, and then you're pretty much good to go. And I do have some other videos on how to take care of your hair extensions, but if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. And I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.